Hi, it's Bob from ourtraveladventures.com. We just got back from our Ring Road trip in Iceland and we wanted to show you our favorite experiences. Reykjavik was a lot of fun. Unlike other European capital cities, there aren't huge lists of sights to see. The Hottelgrímskirkja church is beautiful inside and out. We did have to grab a hot dog at Backrens Betts the Pilser during our visit. This is the hot dog stand President Clinton made famous. The Sun Voyager sculpture is really nice and right out on the beach. The real charm of Reykjavik is this pedestrian area right downtown. It's close to the harbor and easy walking distance from anywhere. The people are super friendly and restaurants and bars are plentiful. The music scene and other nightlife was really fun, and the people watching was really great as well. We're Game of Thrones fans, so we did have to come out to a couple film locations. This is Kirkjufell, one of the most photographed locations in Iceland. You get this waterfall right in front of it, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is Greytoyjin Thermal Cave, and this is where Egret helped Jon Snow break his oath to the Night Watch. We were determined to see puffins on our trip. At Dyrhólaey Promontory, we had our first chance and were ecstatic with the couple that we found. Determined to find more, we took this challenging dirt road and drove out to the Látrabjarnarfjörður cliffs. These are huge basalt cliffs right on the sea, and thousands of seabirds live here. It was fascinating to watch them all flying around, and the noise and actually the smell were pretty overpowering. You'd go right at the top of these cliffs. Unfortunately, we only saw a couple of puffins here. Again, not the puffin experience we were looking for. Here was the winner. The Hafnarholmi puffin colony in the northeast corner of Iceland, Again, another big drive. These skinny roads with no shoulders and up into the clouds. But this puffin colony was everything we were looking for. They have trails that go right out through where they live and photographer huts, so you can get really close to them. The puffins take off and go sit out on the water where they fish. Once they do catch a fish, then the race is on. They have to beat the seagulls back to their nest in order to keep the fish, otherwise the seagulls steal it from them. They're not the most graceful on land, and so it was funny watching the crash landings as they were coming in. We were so close. Renee was even able to get pictures like this on her cell phone. Great experience. This is Sjóarhúsið, literally means tar house. It's a restaurant in Ísafjörður in the West Fjords. It's a touristy experience where you sit at communal tables and chat with other travelers. We started with a tasty fish soup, then enjoyed salads, potatoes, rice, veggies, and 10 to 12 different fish dishes. Everything from cod to halibut to Arctic char. It's a great way to taste local dishes, and it's all you can eat, so a bargain at around $55 per person, where you could easily spend that for a single meal elsewhere. Definitely get reservations if you're interested. On the east coast of Iceland, the Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon is an amazing stop. As soon as we got out of the car, we were mesmerized with the icebergs floating within easy sight of the parking lot. We jumped onto a duck tour to actually get closer to the icebergs. As the glacier comes down the mountain, it gathers all the mud and dirt into the ice, and so it creates the dark layers that are in the icebergs. But as they melt, those dark layers slough off, and you're left with this blue and clear ice. So the pieces that melt underwater will then roll over, and this blue ice comes up to the top. The shapes were fascinating as we toured around the lagoon. The ice also melts at different rates, so you can see this one is about to melt down the middle of it, and they say it'll cave into the two pieces as they melt apart. The crew did bring on a piece of ice, the glacial ice, for us, and after everybody was done, Renee got to throw it back into the water. As you leave the glacier bay, just across the white bridge on the Ring Road is Diamond Beach. So this is where those icebergs float back out to the beach, and the waves just beat on them and then bring them back into this black sand beach. And they look like diamonds sitting on the sand and give you some amazing photo opportunities. Seljalandsfoss is on the south coast. It's a 210-foot high waterfall. It definitely was not the biggest or most impressive that we saw, but there's a trail that leads you all the way around the backside of the waterfall, which is a very cool experience. The trail is easier if you go counterclockwise, since it gets rocky with some climbing at the end. Be prepared to get wet and be careful on the slippery rocks. We saw people of all ages and abilities doing this trail though, so it is possible. It's just this rocky climb to get back out at the end. As an added bonus, there's another waterfall a 10 to 15 minute walk away called Bui. That translates to canyon dweller, and you can see it's actually in the middle of this canyon or this cave where it comes down through. You do need some good balance or some wet feet to get into where you can see it. No visit to Iceland would be complete without experiencing the hot springs. This is Mývatn Nature Baths. About half the price of the Blue Lagoon, and without as many spa-like amenities, it was a great experience. No reservation was necessary while we were there, and it wasn't very crowded. The Blue Lagoon is amazing, and they know it. Since it's between Reykjavik and the airport, it's always busy. Reservations are mandatory. You walk into the water inside, so weather hardly matters. There were busloads of people during our visit. The pool's massive with many different areas, so never felt the crowd except at the bar or at the mass station. Our ticket did include 3 different treatments for our faces and a drink each, so we enjoyed that. In the West Fjords, we found several not so commercial hot springs. This is Drangsnes, and these 3 hot pot pools sit right on the ocean. They're free if you can get a spot, and changing rooms are right across the street. At Reykjafjörðarlag, there's this big pool and a couple of natural soaking pools just up the hill. Changing rooms are right by the pool, and there's free and lots of room. The Tálknafjörður pools were quite a drive on a bumpy gravel road, but look at this view. Once we found them. Changing rooms and a shower here, and a donation box to help keep them going. Helgelag though was our absolute favorite, mostly because we got incredibly lucky and had it all to ourselves. That's our trusty Kia in the parking lot here, and it had no problem with the gravel roads of the West Fjords. The hot springs is right off the parking lot, but you can't see it until you're right on top of it because it's down this cliff. As you follow the path to the pool, there's this dressing area. You're visible from the path in the parking lot, but not the pool. So it's not exactly private. Then the pool is just around the corner, right on the beach. We enjoyed an amazing hour here all to ourselves. Just look at this view. Thanks for watching. Whether you joined us to get some hints and tips for your own vacation or just living vicariously through our adventures, we're glad you're here. Please hit the subscribe button and join us on our future adventures.